press record. But, yo, welcome to Kicking Balls. Here with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. His real name is John.
That's
I'm not
right.
gonna give the full government name, of course. But this is episode 2 of Kicking Balls.
Here
We'll
we
do a
are
little
back at
intro.
it again.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
hope everyone's having had a great weekend. There's a lot of soccer. Um, some I guess you would say games that very impactful games that's gonna determine, that's affecting the like mainly the Premier League. Like there are some games in there, and then like we can talk about like Barcelona and the Supercopa.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, how you doing, John?
Doing good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me, my man.
Yeah, man, you're
You're
the
the Philly Casemiro, as they call you,
you're,
Octavio.
yeah, that's what they call me. You see me
So
play.
I have seen you play, and you do him justice. All right, man. So yeah, we're talking Premier League. We had some good games this weekend. We had Arsenal Tottenham, which
hmm
was an important one. You got Tottenham was in fifth place, Arsenal in first place, so that was big. You got Man City, Man United, which was
Yep.
at Old Trafford. We'll get to that.
hmm
What else do we have? Newcastle Fulham, which was another good one.
Yeah, Newcastle's keeping up.
Newcastle has really made a season out of this year. I mean, they are
And
they're
they're shopping smart. Like they're not buying. They're spending money, but they're not buying like the Cristiano Ronaldos. They're not buying like the uh Mbappe's. They're going over like for players that are good, but they're not like the players that everyone wants. That everyone's
they're getting
after.
a deal. They're getting players under the radar.
Yes, and like I
And
think
we've talked off. I don't know. We haven't talked on this show about some of the players we love on that team.
from Newcastle,
Yeah, we talked about Saint Maximum.
Saint Max. Yeah, did he play this last game? I'm not sure because he's been coming back from an injury.
He finally came back, or I don't know if this was his first time back, but he's back because I saw him in the last game. He got
Okay, okay.
he got subbed in, but that was good to see. And as you said, you gave a statistic like he has
Oh yeah,
the most take
he
ons or
the
something.
most take-ons of all the players in. I don't know if it's European football. It was like a stat that I saw. Like he's basically one-on-ones. He's the one that basically the most successful take-ons on one-on-ones, and above Lionel Messi, above Mbappe.
Ooh.
Wow, it's crazy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
who
yeah.
would have thought?
Well, and you watch him play, you see he's very, very dangerous up there on
Yeah,
the left
they,
side.
yeah, they
Uh,
have Almiron who are playing lights
he-
out.
yeah. Almiron from Paraguay.
And then they also have the Guimaraes. Guimaraes is playing real good. Man, they got a
Well,
squad.
their goal. Let's give it up for their keeper. What's his name? Nick Pope.
Nick Pope.
Nick Pope. He's put himself really on the map this year. I think he might. They might be leading. He might be leading in clean sheets. I'll have to look that up. I've got some statistics near me that I can hopefully access while I'm talking. But
hmm
yeah, like he's got a lot of clean sheets. So
So
Newcastle.
so
Anyway,
of all the games, I also watch. So let's go over. If, okay, let's cover Man City against Man United,
ooh,
which I think was the most of all the games was the ones that everyone was looking forward to because we didn't know what to expect because Man United was coming in hot. Man City was a little shaky. They got eliminated in the middle of the week from was it the Carabao Cup or the
that's right.
FA Cup?
That's right. Southampton took him out.
Yeah, and of course they didn't have their best players in, but
You're still
you know,
shaken up by that because you're like,
it affects their momentum.
yeah. I mean, they're looking at, oh, we're going to win the FA Cup, we'll win the Carabao Cup, we're going to win
hmm
Champions League this year. Like they're trying to go for like the triple or the quadruple, but
Not
so
anymore.
yeah, so they if you watch that game, they did put a lot of their best players in at some point.
Yeah,
Um,
and then so in the Man City Man United game, it was an early game, 7 in the morning here in the U.S. in the East Coast. Uh, I missed the first half. Woke up late, but when I started watching it, Man City supposedly Man United had a pretty good first half, which. But when I started watching it, Man City was already playing their game, moving the ball back and forward, and I was like, "Uh oh, the second half, they got their goal. They got Grealish
yeah,
to score,
Grealish is excited to, I'm sure,
and
to
I was like, "Yeah, it's
move on
over.
board because he
It's gonna
hasn't.
be hard to come back from this." And then they got that offside goal. I mean, I'm a Man United fan, and honestly, I can see how they didn't call it. I don't know
So
about
wait,
you.
what is the deal? Give me the insight on that because I only heard about it and I didn't see it when it happened. But
Hmm.
what all I know is Man City was up 1-0.
Hmm.
There was what was there only like 15 minutes left in the game, or it was
Yeah, something
it
like
was
that.
late. It was late in the game. It was still 1-0. So you had the perception that it might be a 1-0 game. Anyway,
Hmm.
tell us about the offside goal.
Well, yeah, it was a pass from Casemiro, who it looked like he was passing it to Rashford, who was on
Oh,
outside.
that I did see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the
And
pass was kind of
Rashford
like
doesn't touch
curving
it.
in, and he was running after it. But then he kind of like
Yeah,
did get on top of it. But then like he realized that what's his name, Bruno Fernandez was coming in,
yeah. And Bruno put
and the
it
ball
in.
was going in my from my perspective. I think that's why they let it. They allowed the goal because it was gonna get to Bruno Fernandez regardless because he was making a run as well.
Yes,
And then nowadays you got to play to the whistle, so you can't if Man City defenders would have stopped running because Rashford was on offside,
that's on
you
them.
could blame them. You could blame them, like because nowadays you got to play to the whistle because a lot of times the ref, even when you know it's a clear offside, like uh, they don't raise their flag, so you
Yeah,
definitely like that's the. I mean, that's what they tell you: play to the whistle. I mean, and they were doing that, so they can't really say that Rashford was interfering. I mean, kind of like he didn't touch the ball. The ball was gonna get to Bruno Fernandez anyway. So in a
yeah.
way,
I
it could have
mean,
been called. They could have used VAR, be like, yeah, he kind of interfered, but they didn't use it. But I
sure.
understand why they didn't. So
It's a it's a judgment call there, and I mean,
it's one of those calls.
he fortunately didn't touch the ball. If he would have touched the ball, then
Yeah,
it would have been very clear and dry.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, the argument Man City could make is okay. Somebody was like pulled to that guy, or he affected the play, obviously, whatever. But like he still didn't touch it. It's like
It's
I
one
mean,
of those, it's one of those
and
plays.
I like to let goals stand. Like I fall in the camp of like if a guy is like barely offsides, but not even really, like
Right.
as a
Yeah.
referee, which I've done occasionally, I lean towards let the goal stand. Like I want the game. I don't like having to have goals get
Even when
called
it's
back.
I like that. Even when it's a handball, like I don't like the handballs that they call nowadays, like where like it hits someone like and then
Sure. And
accidentally
it's
hits their hand.
completely inadvertent. It's like it ricochets into somebody's hand, and then they're like, "Well, technically, it hit his elbow, so the
Yeah,
goal's off." And it happened like 5 seconds before the goal even happened. But they're like, "It hit his elbow in the box." They like look, you know, they look a few minutes back or a couple seconds back. You're like, "This guy accidentally it hit his elbow." I mean, anyway,
yeah. I mean,
you don't like that.
but Man United won, so now it's the top four is really tight, except for Arsenal. Arsenal is like 8 points ahead.
Wait. Arsenal is way ahead. Wait, back to Man U though. Wait, so they got that goal.
Hmm.
Well, that made it what 1-1,
1-1. Yep.
and then what happened?
It changed the whole dynamic of the game. Like it was at Old Trafford, the Man U's home, and
The crowd
the
got
crowd
into it.
was behind them. They were and yeah, like they're. I mean, honestly, Man U's has a solid squad nowadays, and their counterattack. They put Garnacho in. What do you think about Garnacho? He's like an 18-year-old Argentinian. Man, he's real good, and that's a good option to have in the bench because he's fast, he's
What is
quick.
he? He's playing like left forward or something, right?
He plays left forward. Yep,
Yeah.
and he gave the assist. He on a counter attack. He had the ball. He crossed it. He hit like a Man City defender, and he deflected back to him, and then he was able to spin around and cross it again. And Rashford got to Rashford. Rashford got his goal. He's hot
Yep.
right now.
Oh
He got
yeah.
like 8 straight games with a goal. So man, you
Rashford is on fire.
is red hot, man, right now. And
And
they're
there it
playing.
is.
Guess
And
who
then
they're playing
it was
next?
2-1. Freaking City just freaking fucked it up.
Yeah,
City, you got to get a point there. I mean, what are you thinking?
yeah. Well, Haaland. They say
You
Haaland didn't
have
do
to get a
anything.
point there.
They shut down Haaland,
How did they shut him down so well? Because he
oh,
that's not easy.
and they had a pretty. They didn't have their main like back four. Like they had Luke Shaw playing next to Baran in the middle like, at CB.
I saw Wan Bissaka was playing too.
He's playing real good too.
I
And
love
then they
Wan
have
Bissaka. I wonder
Malacia.
where the heck he had gone, but
So the
I'm
key
glad that
the
he's
key
back.
was the key was putting Fred in with Casemiro because Fred there was two CDMs basically. Fred was kind of like the one that was shadowing De Bruyne, and De
Oh,
Bruyne is the one that feeds Haaland all day.
sure.
Like most of the goals come from assists
You
from
stop Holland by first stopping De Bruyne.
yeah, exactly.
You man mark De Bruyne. Yeah, yeah.
And Haaland is, I mean, De Bruyne is basically their main distributor, their main playmaker. So if you shut him down, you give him a hard time. It's kind of like you annoy your best player, like you don't let him like you bring him down his neck. That's what Fred was doing. Supposedly he was playing. He played a
Yep.
pretty good game, and
Yep.
a lot of Man U fans wanted him out. A lot of Man U fans wanted Wan Bissaka out. They wanted Luke Shaw out. They wanted. I
Really?
mean, yeah.
I mean, Luke Shaw, he plays on the national team.
I mean, so does Harry Maguire.
Yeah, well, Harry Maguire is understandable. I mean, everybody hates Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
Every Man U fan I've ever met doesn't like Harry Maguire. The only person the only people they hate worse than Harry Maguire are the Glazers.
Yeah, they're getting ready to sell the team. There's
Exactly.
another breaking news.
That's like that's the pecking order. Like, first, Man U fans hate the Glazers, and then second is Harry
Yeah,
Maguire right now.
yeah. No, but yeah. So yeah, man, you won, man. It was
That's a big
switching
deal for Man U,
highs.
and that sucks for Man City because they're trying to catch up to Arsenal, and they didn't do themselves any favors with that.
So
Because
that's what I was
Arsenal,
hoping. I was hoping Arsenal would lose against Tottenham, but
Arsenal
Arsenal
got
just
freaking him. Or Tottenham got a little bit embarrassed on that.
yeah. No, and Arsenal, man, and I think they were playing in Tottenham Stadium.
That's right.
But Arsenal, like they got like I don't know if you've seen him play. They got one of the best counterattacks. Like they move they're vertical, man. Like they push the ball with they got Martinelli. Saka is one of their like
Yep.
he's taking on defenders on
Saka's
his
crazy
side. They got
dangerous.
Martinelli,
Odegaard
Odegaard, yeah, and
is
yeah,
out of control. I mean,
Saka.
When they had
Saka's playing
Gabby
real good.
Jesus, but
He's injured, but yeah,
yeah,
he's
but he did. He started out real good at the beginning part of the season.
mhm.
He did real well for them.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be back, and so Chelsea won, so
Chelsea needed that.
they needed that. Yeah,
Chelsea needed that because they were down and out.
did you see?
They
They just got
squeaked.
this.
So Chelsea squeaks by Crystal Palace 1-0. Now, which brings me to what I need to ask you. I need you to foresee the future. You've got Crystal Palace playing Man U. and I think that game is
Oh,
tomorrow.
that's tomorrow. Hmm.
Yeah, and it's at Crystal Palace, which I believe
Yeah.
is in London. So what do you got? What's going on that game? I'm
Should be it should
Crystal
be
could
a,
have
a
a
it
tough
should be a
go.
W. It should be a W for Man U. They probably gonna start Lisandro Martinez, who's coming back from celebrating the World Cup win. Like that's why he
Oh,
hasn't been
he's
starting.
finally back.
He's been back, but Ten Hag's kind of like giving him like a few minutes a game.
Yeah, they're letting him sober up. He's in the drunk tank.
Yeah, I mean it's understandable, right? They won the World Cup,
I
and
know. I was surprised to see Messi out with PSG. I'm like, damn, Messi, you're
then
already.
they're gonna have their new starter, their new striker, their new number 9, which is Weghorst from
Oh
Holland.
yeah, that's right. I saw
And
he
here's
got.
a hot take. Here's a hot take.
Okay, what do you got on Weghorst? Because Weghorst was the one who did Argentina dirty in the World Cup.
Here's a hot take. I think that he's gonna have the same goal rating as Haaland moving forward. Moving forward.
Oh,
Moving forward.
okay.
Because he's like similar player to Haaland.
Yeah,
He's
they got
like,
the tall, strong build. That classic striker,
yep.
kind of like Zlatan.
No, he and basically he's like a natural number 9, kind of like Haaland.
Yeah.
And he's like a very he had a pretty good season with Besiktas.
Oh, is
Um,
that where he came from? Besiktas.
he actually played in Burnley, went on a loan to Besiktas,
Okay.
and I mean, you saw what he did against Argentina in the World Cup. He scored 2 goals to tie the game.
Yeah, he did him dirty before it went to before it went to shootout. He was like the man of the match.
Yeah, but
He would have
he
won
has
that
a
if Netherlands win that game. He's the man of the match.
yeah he has he runs a lot. He's a workhorse. Like so he got that. I seen that from him, and that's similar to Haaland. And he's basically he's tall, so they're gonna feed him the ball like a lot of headers. So that's how Haaland gets most of his goals. So I feel like he can keep up with the goal rating, have a similar goal rating moving forward, because that's what they needed when now they got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, because
Uh,
Ronaldo just for whatever reason never really is that he's there for the headers on the crosses, but he wasn't really that hold up player so much.
the thing about
He's
him,
more
he
of a
has
player who wants to turn against somebody and go at them,
okay,
but Weghorst, Holland, they can kind of like they can hold people off in a different way
yeah,
that Cristiano didn't do. But Cristiano could do stuff that Holland and Weghorst can't even dream of. So it's like, it's
well,
just different players have different skill
mhm,
sets.
exactly.
Anyway,
But we'll see what happens. They play tomorrow.
so your prediction is Weghorst to be matching Holland.
I,
I am. I love your enthusiasm because I know how much you love Man U.
you don't think it's gonna happen?
I don't. I'll just say I don't think it's going to happen this season. Um, but I don't want to shatter your dreams forever. So like maybe
Well,
Weghorst can be there. Maybe next season is his like Holland year. But like
well, maybe I mean Haaland is not gonna have the same like his goals rating count did go down from how he started really hot.
oh yeah,
Like
he's slowed a little bit. He hasn't scored in a couple games at least.
yeah, I mean honestly, a lot of people are calling him like he's saying like I I think he's a good player. He's a great player. Uh, but I don't like players that are like he's basically a good finisher. You know, like he's
Left footed, which is cool.
yeah, but I mean he can't be considered like great like Mbappe. You know, because Mbappe got skill. Like he can dribble past you, and Haaland, you got to give him the ball. You got to feed him the ball. You know, you got. But
Oh.
he needs other players, and that's why I myself I think that Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi comparisons don't really add up because Cristiano Ronaldo is one of those players that needs other players to feed him the ball to
And then
play
he
with.
can then he can do his thing.
but he's great. Like like he's one of the best. He was at what he best number nines, best number sevens, like best what you call like best striker ever. Like he could finish from anywhere, like header, left foot, right foot. Like he was lasered focused when it came to that. And his last few games with Manchester United, he kind of lost that because of all the outside the field drama and all that. But I wanted to go back to. Did you see Liverpool against Brighton?
Dude, freaking Liverpool. What a freaking catastrophe. Jesus, Liverpool. I mean, yeah, I saw some of it. First off, kudos to Brighton. They're looking great, but freaking
Yeah.
Liverpool is a dumpster fire, just like freaking Chelsea right now. I mean,
Hmm.
talk about a fall from grace for these teams. Jesus,
No,
man.
but Brighton, they're playing the best soccer in Europe right now. They're really good.
They're doing good. They're seventh in the Premier League.
But do you see the
So
way they play?
they
And
score a lot of goals.
their ball movement is off the charts. They do a lot of like it's kind of like tiki taka on steroids type of thing. Like they they got a
They're moving
Japanese
quick.
player.
They have who I mean look what they got. They got McAllister who
Mhm.
recently just won the
Yeah,
World Cup. If
he's a
you don't
beast.
if you think Argentina would have won the World Cup without McAllister, then you're freaking crazy.
And yeah,
You watch those games and see what he does in those games.
kudos to the coach of Argentina for taking him because he was unknown prior to like the World Cup.
I used to hear him occasionally talked about with Brighton, and I was like, I thought he was like a freaking Scot, like a player
Yeah,
from Scotland or something,
and
right?
yeah, he got like
When I
Irish.
saw him on the Argentina team, I'm like, wait, what?
He got Irish roots supposedly. Yeah, so
And
I
then
guess.
yeah, so he's their midfield. It looks like they're playing a lot of a 4-2-3-1. He's the six of the eight.
Hmm.
That's a big part of it. They got also some of the really good the good players from Ecuador.
Yeah, Caicedo,
Saicedo,
Estupiñan.
Estupinan.
Hmm.
They got at least two Ecuadorians. Okay. Danny
Yeah,
Welbeck had a good season. I wonder who their head goal scorer is this year.
I mean that's what they're
Oh,
saying.
Trossard, Leandro Trossard
Oh yeah, he's good,
from
and he didn't
Belgium.
even play this last game.
He did it. He's got an injury. It says, but he is their goal leader right now. But they just
Yeah,
got him. They just
that's what they're saying about them. Like they have like this plug and play type of style where like they have their scouting is one of the best. Like their players that they find like Trossard didn't play. The player that came in, I think he scored two goals or one against or one of the goals against Liverpool. So they're like one of those. They might be around for a while, like in the top six, maybe top four, like in the next coming years. They keep like the system that they got because
they
they're
they
doing something right.
they're a dark horse to get
Yeah,
well, they might even get the fifth place spot, which Tottenham is in right now.
and they're coming down.
The Europa League spot, and Tottenham's only 3 points ahead of them. So
Hmm.
and Tottenham has been shaky a little bit. There's been talk about even potentially getting rid of Conte. I mean, so
Yeah, they have no hunger. I don't know. It was and that's weird from a team from Conte because Conte like he used to be very passionate and like his teams were very solid, but I don't know. Like he started real good in the
they
season
did
and
start good. They started good. Tottenham started real strong. You thought Conte was like, I mean, they're not doing terrible.
but they're losing games that they got to win.
They are
You know.
losing games they have to win. What did they recently lost some games? They lost. I mean, they. How do you not score against Arsenal at home? You have to score a goal that game. The game they just lost.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But
Hey.
hold on. But before that, they beat Palace 4-0.
Oh, okay. Palace. Yeah, I mean, Palace is not very solid.
Well, that was at Palace though. Second, but then before that, here's where it gets shaky. They lost to Aston Villa 2-0.
Mm.
They tied Brentford 2-2.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And then before the World Cup, they beat Leeds 4-3.
Yeah, man. Like
They need to get their shit together. Is
when
what
they
you.
played against Man U, I just didn't think they had any. Like you start seeing like the when soccer styles like trying to take over. I just didn't see them
Yeah.
have like type of soccer like that they're trying to put. Like
What is their
play.
style?
I mean, they don't have one right now.
They
That's the
shouldn't have
thing.
got rid of freaking Ericsson and given to Man U. I mean, in a roundabout way, he got there, but didn't they? He used to be on their team.
Yeah, I
He's the
mean,
kind of player that gives your team a little bit of
yeah,
creativity, at least.
yeah. He was having a lot of injuries when he was at Tottenham, but he was really good there. He had like ankle injuries, and that kind of like maybe they wanted to get rid of him because of that. He went to Inter, and then I think Conte was at Inter too, like Inter Milan,
Oh,
and
really?
he won a
So
title
what?
over there.
Oh, yeah. He probably. I think they won the Scudetto.
Hmm.
What? So what is? So what does Tottenham need, Coach Octavio?
Well,
What
their midfield.
what are they lacking that will get them securely in the top four?
I mean, they definitely got strikers. They got Min Son. They got Richarlison. They got Kulusevski. They got Harry
Kulusevski looks
Kane.
dangerous every time I see him in there. Yeah.
So that's what happened. They fell off after a few injuries, which was Richarlison and Kulusevski got injured, and Kulusevski was a lot of their game. He was basically he was doing a lot through. I think he plays on the right side,
Yep.
doing a lot of damage.
Left footed, but he loves to be on the right side. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they need a solid midfield. They just don't have anyone. I know
They
they
got
got Hoiberg.
Hoiberg.
Besides him,
I know who else. Who else can you even name that's in Tottenham's midfield? That's a great point.
yeah, they don't have
All I
anyone.
know is freaking Hoiberg.
They tried a few players. That's what I noticed against Man U. Like they tried a new player, and even the commentator were like, "Oh yeah, he didn't do that well."
Oh, let's see who they have.
So yeah, man, they
They have
need.
Ses- Sessegnon, Sar, Doherty, freaking Eric Dyer. But they do. Let's look back up front. They got Son also.
Mhm.
But Son, what kind of seasons he having? Son's a little bit quiet this season. He's only got 4 goals and 2 assists. I guess he's doing all right, but he's yeah. Who do they have in the midfield? That's a great point.
That's what they need. They need
Yeah.
another solid defender. I mean,
Oh,
midfield.
that's why they're missing Rodrigo Bentancur.
Oh, okay.
He's their second top scorer. That
No
they at
way.
least they missed him in the Arsenal game, I should say.
Oh,
So he had some injury. He was gone for that game.
I think that's what they're missing because
So Bentancur is up. Yeah, he was doing a lot of stuff in the midfield. I remember he's played freaking 14 out of 19 games for them this year, and
got
he's
you,
got
got you.
and he's got as many goals and assists as Son does. Four goals, two
Wow.
assists. So and he's a midfielder,
All right,
not
so
a
they
forward.
need him for sure. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I guess when you gotta have a solid bench when you have injuries. That's what's going on with Liverpool. They got too many injuries as well.
yep. Liverpool and Chelsea, trust me.
True.
Yep,
Conte. Ever since they lost Conte, I mean, they've
yep.
been struggling really because Conte was like like I was telling you, like a CDM position is very important. Like with Casemiro coming to Man U, Kante with Chelsea. I mean, they won. He made Leicester champions, and then he made
Yep,
Chelsea champions.
that's right. And then they
So
also won the Champions League, and he was there.
so
And France won the freaking World Cup
yeah,
2018 with
yeah.
Conte.
That's why I thought Brazil was gonna win the World Cup. But like, well, they got one of the best CDMs in the game. But yeah, Argentina was doing their thing. Croatia.
I'm with you on your theory about the CDM, well, and we'll have to talk about that. But
Yeah. All right. So let's get into what the Liga, La Liga.
yeah, let's move over. We've discussed our Premier League stuff. Let's get into. We're not going to really touch too much on La Liga. We're going to talk about one specific thing that included two La Liga teams playing in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia,
Oh
capital of
snap! You
Saudi
cut
Arabia.
off.
They played the Supercopa final.
Can't hear you,
It
bro.
was none other than Barcelona versus
Yeah,
Real Madrid. That was on, what was that, Sunday, Saturday?
I think it was Saturday.
Just a few days ago.
I missed it. Like I didn't even think it was gonna come up this soon. I know they were gonna play, but I didn't think it was gonna be like this Saturday.
Yeah, because it was very soon. Because I
I
think
know
they
they played like the semifinals in the middle
yeah,
of
they
the
had played
week.
a semifinal like a few days before. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're totally right. So
What'd you think about the game? I didn't watch it.
it was it was a great game. It was a great game because I love Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm a Barcelona fan too.
So yeah, you would have loved it then. So it was just so fulfilling to see Xavi and the squad like they're like starting to just really click, and they have
Hmm.
they've given him enough time there. Like Xavi went over there. They didn't start out perfect, but they gave him a little bit of time. He worked up the team. He got like moved a few people out. PK went back, started hanging out with Shakira. He got him off the defensive line. Um, switched a few people around. He still got Busquets in there, a couple of other legends in there, but
Hmm.
they are Barcelona's. They just looked so good that game, and I don't know. Madrid looked like they kind of have. They won the Champions League last year, and I think this year they're kind of like,
You think they missed Casemiro?
hey, there's something to be said about that because they looked a little bit. They looked tired. I don't know how to explain it. Like they looked like burned out or something. And
They won too much.
yeah, like they won. The idea that they won the Champions League last year, I think, was such a. I don't want to call it a miracle, but it was like I don't know. I wouldn't have predicted them. Let's just say at the beginning of last season, I would not have predicted them to win the Champions League.
They played. I mean, honestly, to me, Real Madrid doesn't really have a solid style per se, but they got players that can change the game in an instant. Um, and I mean, they having Modric in there who can like give you one good pass and and change the game. I mean, Kroos is always like we talked about him. Like he's not really a show off. He just does the basic moves, but he's solid. He gives you the good lobs as well. But yeah, like their run like last year in the Champions League, like I mean, they brought Rodrigo from the bench, and he's a solid player from the bench, and
They
he saved them like a few times.
Rodrigo saved them. Everybody did their part. I mean, Benzema obviously
Hmm.
was critical, but this this thing, the Supercopa thing, this game, it did Madrid just didn't seem like they were like, who gives what the hell's a Supercopa? They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and I guess for Barcelona, like they trying to build on every game. and Real Madrid is like we're coming off winning the Champions League and La
Yeah,
Liga.
Barcelona's coming off their peak, and or sorry, Madrid's coming off their peak, and Barcelona's like we're trying to see how far we can go. They still have to prove themselves,
And they could be missing Casemiro because I think they got Chouameni in there. I forgot his name is.
and he wasn't even there for that game.
Oh, they had
And they
Camavinga.
had so their midfield was Modric, Cruz, and what's his name?
Camavinga.
Kamavinga.
He's good. He's good.
Kamavinga is good, but they subbed him off
But
like he was one of the first people subbed off. I'm not sure why they, he was one of the ones who was playing more aggressive. I don't know why they would take him off, but
uh, I don't know. Like
but
some
then
some
they,
of the
they also
calls.
took Modric off. They took, they added who did they add? Danny Ceballos came on.
Hmm.
Uh, but they're missing Casemiro. I think I agree with you. They're missing Makaleli as well. Let's just say.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah,
So Barcelona looked really. They just have that thing where the team is just clicking. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they're doing the tiki taka that Xavi and Iniesta and Xavi,
Mhm.
Alonso, and all those people used to do. And
I love Pedri, by the way. He's one of my favorite young players.
yeah, Pedri, Gavi, and even
Hmm.
Lewandowski. Um, they were the front three, I believe. Oh, and Dembele. They all they just got it going on. They're
And did De Jong start? Or he came in as a sub because he's real good too.
Frankie De Jong started.
Okay,
He's
so he's
yeah,
midfield.
he's a big part of it too. Um, yeah, he's a major part.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's definitely solid. I mean, Man U was trying to get him like at the beginning of the season, but he didn't want to leave. And but yeah, like I they're finally. I guess I think the one of the issues like they got bumped out of the Champions League. They moved into the European League, but they played against Inter and Bayern Munich, like and I mean that's one of the most difficult groups that that they had. Real Madrid didn't have a group like that to deal with. So people are like, "Oh, they suck." I mean, Bayern Munich was on fire, and then at that time, Barcelona didn't have a solid defense. Like I think they had Araujo was hurt, Kunde was hurt.
oh shoot, they didn't have either of those guys. Jesus,
They had to rely on Piqué. They had to rely on what was that dude Garcia. Uh,
yeah, Eric
and
Garcia.
yeah, and when I watched the game against Inter, like that defense was terrible. Yeah, for real.
Yep,
So sometimes it just has to do with luck, timing, injuries.
absolutely. Completely. Whoever's going to win the Premier League, whoever's going to win La Liga, whatever, is going to
Mhm.
have the most amount of decent players healthy by the end of the season. And some of a good team, even Arsenal, they have an 8 point lead. If Arsenal got hit with five really terrible injuries, like Odegaard, Saka, their goalie. I mean, some
Yeah,
real key players. I mean, I'm not talking about it like I hope it happened. I'm just talking about how bad luck can change things
yeah.
like that.
Oh
There was
yeah,
a season, I think it was last season, even for Liverpool. By the end of the season, they just had so many people who were injured that they were just hanging on for dear life.
yeah. That's
So
what happened in
anyway,
Liverpool. Yeah, and they just got Van Dijk injured. So
right as the season goes on, those guys are just pushed, man. They're working. Like they're playing 2 games a week sometimes.
hmm
And you're exerting a lot, man. You know how it is. How do you feel after a really ferocious game? How do you feel the next day
yeah,
or
I can't
whatever?
I can't play as many games as I used to when I was younger. I mean, I'm 33 now. When I was like in my 20s, like someone invited me to a game, and then another person invited me to a game, and it was like sometimes two games in one day,
Yeah.
and I was okay, but I couldn't. I had to slow down on that. Even now, like I play about 3 times a week. I'm feeling it. I'm not like 100% all the time, so I understand like the players, um, like they play basically the professionals play about 3 times a week or 2 times a week because they play the weekends and in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's it can be a lot. That's why you gotta have it, like it's basically like what I like about Man U, or I would say not Man U, but what Ten Hag is doing. He's more focused on the system and not on individual players. Like that's why he got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo. He got rid of. I mean, he's been showing that he's all about discipline. Like he didn't start Rashford one game because he was late.
Oh
So
wow.
Arteta is doing the same thing though. Arteta, what I mean, he started like that. He's basically building a system or building a style of play where like you can put in the player, and then like in case he gets injured, another one can come in. But you also got to have a good bench, a solid like replacement, just in case. You need to
Absolutely.
have like a solid starting lineup, but then like have some subs that can also like come in there and do play the same way, keep the same style.
Play the same way, and or maybe even they have to play a different position sometimes. Like sometimes you're
Yeah.
like, this guy who normally plays defensive mid, I need him to play center back.
Hmm.
Like I've seen like City did that with Fernandinho.
Hmm.
He was their sixth, and then sometimes
Yeah.
they needed him as like a center back, or
Yeah.
whatever. But
That's
that's
what
when
they criticize.
that's when you're really desperate.
I mean, that's what they criticize Pep Guardiola. Like he's basically like if you allow him, he'll have like 11 Riyad Mahrez, in the starting lineup. Like he like his defenders like are
He made Kyle. I mean, not him, but Kyle Walker played goalie under his
yeah,
tenure there. I mean, granted, like Ederson got a red card, and then I think their backup goalie got injured or something,
yeah,
or maybe it's the other way around. Like somebody got a red injured, and whatever the backup goalie got a red card. But like Kyle Walker played goalie for Pep. That was like I don't know several years ago, but I love that anyway. But that's to comment on Pep Guardiola, like putting anybody at every position. Like
yeah, yeah. I mean,
he's like, oh, we're gonna try we're gonna put Ederson as a striker.
probably do that. Like exactly, he like his style of play is like he wants to have like really good. And I mean, I mean, of course, everyone does. He like really good ball handlers, really good ball movers. I mean, right now, like his defense is what Ake and the Swiss player. I don't know. They're pretty good
Stones,
defenders.
Laporte.
Hmm. Yeah,
What about Ruben Diaz? Where the hell is he at?
I think he's been benched. I don't know why. He was solid. Like now he got yeah, like Ake and I forgot the name of the other player. Anyway,
Okay,
but yeah, yeah
but
he even leaves the
Back to Barcelona and Real Madrid.
yeah, yeah, good thing,
In
yeah.
conclusion, in conclusion, Barcelona,
Guess who's the Europa League games are coming up. Barcelona, Man U playing
is that next this week coming up?
February.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll be meeting out at the pub and doing the podcast from there.
That'll be dope.
That would be
Stay tuned
fun.
for that. All
um,
right, man. So Barcelona
so
won.
congratulations,
La
Barcelona.
Liga, they're 3
Fuck
points
you,
up,
Real Madrid.
3 points ahead on in La Liga. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens there. You can't sleep on Real Madrid. Again, injuries. You never know. Like if you lose
yep.
an important player. then that changes
We
everything.
still have a lot of the season to go. We're really only halfway through the season.
Hmm. Man, you and Arsenal play
There's there's a lot of the
next week.
season. Any of these teams in the top four right now, just in La Liga, Premier League, anything. Any of
I mean,
those teams.
in Italy, Napoli is really ahead.
Oh my God, Napoli just brutalized freaking Juventus. But like any of those teams in those top four right now, they're only halfway through the season. If they go on a slide, they lose or draw like 3 or 4 or 5 games. Arsenal, I'm talking to you. Arsenal goes on a bad streak.
Yeah,
I want to see it. I don't want to see Arsenal lose necessarily. I want to see it more dramatic, though. I do want to see.
exactly.
I don't.
Same.
I don't want to see Arsenal up by 8 points. I want to
I
see
don't want to.
Arsenal.
I don't want to see him run away with the league. Like,
Yeah,
oh, they're up like 15
that's
points.
the worst. That's the worst when there's like 8 games left, and you're like, oh God, this is not
Yeah,
even freaking close anymore.
that was Man City a few times. Is what the last few years.
Yeah. And,
It's
and, and I'm
annoying.
totally, and it would be great if it was even not Man City, like freaking Newcastle is like about
That'll
to,
be dope. Yeah.
like they come from behind and Newcastle somehow win or some shit. So
Shit. I don't know. Let's see
no,
what happens.
Man
Because
United, let's throw you a bone here, all right?
oh yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
How long has it been since Man U took it?
I don't know, but what I think since Sir Alex Ferguson, I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they
So,
haven't won the league since he left.
so not past 2010.
I'm not sure. Don't you got to fact check me on that. But what was I gonna say? The next game is very crucial. Like they play Crystal Palace, but then they play Arsenal. They're gonna go
Ooh,
against each other.
are they at
So that
what?
might drop if they're able to beat Arsenal. It's gonna put the league on notice. It's gonna
That's a
be
big deal.
and then Man City and Man U win, then they're gonna be like 5 points. Arsenal's only gonna be 5 points away.
That's what I want. I want the drama. All right. I want
I'm
Man U to
cheering for
win.
Man
I
U.
want the excitement and the drama. I want Man U to win there. All right. That's the only time I'm
Yeah.
cheering for Man U here.
All right, man. So
So now we're moving
that's the
on.
league. What?
So congratulations, Barcelona in the Supercopa. The team looked good.
Congrats.
Ter
It's not.
Stegen looked real good. It looked like
They
it was
gotta
actually
win.
going to be. It
They
looked
gotta
like it
win La
was going to
Liga
be.
too, though. They
It looked like
can't.
it was going to be a. That Supercopa game actually looked like it was going to be 3-0.
Yeah, yeah. It was an
And
embarrassment for Real
it
Madrid.
was Madrid was like beaten and freaking bombed out and depleted. They looked like just I don't know. But anyway, somehow they scored, which I'm proud of Kareem Benzema. I love Kareem.
He's my
I love
guy.
Kareem the Dream. I love him. I think he's one of the unsung better strikers of the present generation. He was
Mhm.
always a little bit overshadowed by Cristiano, but
I mean, to be honest, he wasn't good with Real Madrid for a long time until recently. Like
past 5 years.
yeah, recently he's like playing like basically like
He might have had the season of his life last season when they won the
Mhm.
Champions League.
Yeah, and prior when he first came in, like some of the like there was a lot of bloopers that were and like misses that he had, like but now
Really,
everything is falling in for him.
the blue
He figured it out.
blueprints. I love that.
Yeah, he was sloppy. He was like he wasn't that good. He was clumsy.
Oh,
He was a very clumsy player at first. Like he wasn't like his skill level wasn't like up there, and sometimes he just embarrassed himself. And now, like I was actually like, how is he still there? Like he sucks. But now I'm like, I don't know what happened to him. He changed. Like he definitely.
he
And the
came
thing
into
is,
his
he's
own.
older now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, well, yeah, of course he's older, but he's like in his mid 30s, I think.
yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So
So
he was able to put one in for Madrid to at least let them hold their head up high. And
mhm.
so the game ended 3-1, but that was like he scored in like past the 90th minute. It was like
Yeah,
time. So
those
but
don't count really. It's just
Yeah, yeah. You're not even. They weren't even like trying to rush the ball back. Like, come on, let's get two more. They were just like, oh Jesus, all right.
yeah.
There was no rush. You know how sometimes if the game's close, somebody like there's
Hmm.
people in there fighting with the keeper, like, give me the fucking ball. You
I
know.
knew it was over. Yep.
So all right, now we're gonna move to play our playing the game segment on kicking
Mm.
balls. This is where we talk a little bit about
Actually,
experiences
us
being
playing the
on the.
game.
That's right, experiences from us being on the field,
Hmm.
different scenarios. I'm actually eventually we should encourage people to write in any questions they have for us about things about playing the
About
game.
playing the game. About. I mean, what can I mean, I'm in my 30s. I still play. I enjoy playing it. Um, and thankfully here in Philadelphia, there's so many leagues to choose from. Like you got so many, yeah, indoors, outdoor, like all year long. Um, and yeah, I mean, we play with like young players. We play with older, like I mean, in Casa League, our captain Frank. How old is he? He's like 60 or something. I don't
Oh
know.
shoot, that fool is as old as FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I mean, he's let's
And
just say he's let's just say he's legally handicapped by his age. He just automatically gets to put one of those things
yeah,
in
I
his car.
mean,
He automatically gets to park in the handicap spot. But anyway,
yeah, but he's in there, and I mean, kudos to him for being out there.
yeah, I can't believe that as well. And it's I guess the power of soccer is if you play it okay or it's played in a decent fashion, you can just get a really good workout and you can keep playing. You don't have to
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be this like super like hardcore thing where like a bunch of people are getting injured like
Hmm.
NFL football or some shit, like
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be high impact. When you get to an older age, there is a way to play soccer where you can just pass the ball around. Maybe there's
yeah,
contact and there's some aggression here and there, but anyway, it can be more of a sport that people can play into their older years. I
yeah. That's the beauty of soccer, like you said. And you have to be able to adjust as you get older your game because you're not gonna be as quick. You're not gonna be as agile. So
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about it last time. How our most of the time defenders are like the older guys, the veterans play defense.
yep,
They just have that timing.
yep.
But yeah, even you gotta like what I do. Like I get inspired by people like Zinedine Zidane, where he wasn't the quickest, but he was so swift. Pirlo, like
Ah,
man, I love Pirlo.
yep.
That dude, like he wasn't the fastest,
Nope.
but he gave you one of the most beautiful passes, like accurate passes, like long passes, short passes. Like, see, I mean, back to Zidane, like his control was incredible, man. So yeah, like
You develop your game in a different way as you get older,
mhm,
which is such a kind of a vital part of the game of soccer is the idea of adaptation.
yeah,
And it's adapting to as you get older, you're adapting the things you do with the ball. You're not trying to beat people one on one in like a foot race any as much. You're trying to move the
right,
ball in a different way. You have to
exactly.
adjust and adapt and be like, you come to that reality. I can't beat these guys anymore like I used to.
Hmm.
How can I beat them? Okay, I'll try to outthink them and
Exactly.
I'll put a good well placed ball over the top to somebody else who can make that run. So like and you see that with kind of Messi a little bit nowadays, although in the World Cup, Messi showed us he still can beat people as well.
But he
But,
did. I think that,
but
the
PSG,
difference between him and Cristiano is that he was able to adjust. He had an okay mediocre season, but then he was able to come back from that. And Cristiano kind of like he was still trying to be the same player he was at Real Madrid, and that's kind of like but he doesn't have the same pace where he gets a ball one on one. And I've seen it multiple times this past season where the defender caught up to him like right away, blocked the shot. He didn't get the shot off on time. He was trying to cut, and it didn't work. Like his game, like so he just was trying to use the pace. He relied on his pace a lot, and he doesn't have that anymore.
Right.
And I mean, Messi kind of like figured that out in the World Cup, right? He wasn't using his pace, but he was using his body. Like when he took that Croatian player, he's
Yeah.
like he was taking him, but then he like cut back, went back this
Yeah.
way.
And here's the thing. Initially in that play, he receives that ball from the throw in, and
Yeah,
he's like running with that Croatian guy, but the Croatian guy's keeping up with him because it's like this. He's running against a guy who's 10 years younger than and like so
yeah,
he knows that. So he's like he has to stop the ball, get the defender to stop. Then he's like,
uh-huh.
okay, now I can fake him out this way and go back
Yeah.
out there. But you have to. He had to know, he had to know to be able to do that. Like, okay, I'm not going to beat this guy in a flat out foot race right here.
I
I
bet
need.
he's like very annoying to defend because he's like just going back and forth, like. And I mean, he's very strong for a small guy too. Like you can tell, like on that play, how he like basically cut around that. I mean, a young up and coming defender. Like he's a fucking goat, like a bull, like
He's
little guy, but he's
there. There's
strong.
there's major advantages in soccer to being short and having that low center of gravity like that. I mean, everybody looks at tall players,
Hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, you're tall. You can win those header duels, and you can get a lot more headers on goal, and you're a target
Yeah,
man, and blah blah blah." There's a million things, but
but
that's
then when
one of the beauties of soccer is different body shapes
yeah,
are welcome in the sport. And we're talking
hmm
about the acceptance of soccer and the accessibility of it in our last episode. And part of that accessibility is, oh, you're a real short person. Oh, you're super tall. Oh, you're a little
hmm
bit like heftier. Oh, you're skinny. It's all right.
oh
There's a
yeah,
place for you on the soccer field.
I've
Like
seen
there,
some big dudes that are really good and that can outrun me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Freaking A, you see in the Casa League, man. I see some of these strikers. I'm like, this dude is like 300 pounds. How is he a striker? And like,
yeah,
he's getting shots, like good shots on the goal. I'm like, how the hell is this happening?
nah, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
300 pounds might be a slight exaggeration, but
So that's what comes with like if you want to continue playing the game as through your life, which I recommend because one, whatever you do in life, don't stop doing what you enjoy. Like you still do music, you're a musician, right? I
absolutely,
mean, you love soccer, like keep doing those things. Like a lot of people stop doing what they do, next thing you know, they blow up or they age, you age quicker, So
for sure.
just and like when it comes to soccer, you do gotta like maybe be more active. Like don't just show up to the game expect to be able to have your to be able to perform the way you want. You got to be able to like maybe go to the gym here and there or go you know work on your flexibility, work on your touch. Like have a soccer ball. I have a soccer ball that I you know play with, step on, do a few moves here and there, like
Yeah,
because one thing about soccer is muscle memory, or about anything, muscle
yeah.
memory. Like keep doing, keep working on that. That way, you show up to the game and you still, I guess, you might like as the less you play it, the more you lose. But I mean, yeah, like keep a soccer ball around. Watch the sport. Yeah, like
I
don't
think
just
I
show
think
up to games.
that's a great tip about leaving the soccer ball around and kind of really trying to touch it every day or at least often and
Mhm.
do develop that muscle memory. Anytime I'm like, I'll go out to my garage, I'll work on like some
Yeah,
Cruyff turns, I'll work on some like body feints, a bunch of different things with the ball. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I go play soccer. the next day or two, and I'm like, I'll do those things out there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
and I'll do it really in the moment, real quick, subconsciously. But I'm like, oh shoot, I did
Exactly.
that crazy like Maradona,
Yeah.
oh, I happened to be doing that the day before. I did like 30 of them in a row, and I built, and
Hmm.
so it was like in my muscles. It was ready when the moment came in the game. It was just crazy. So
Yeah. I mean, we can even jump into the next segment because I think that
the
is something
final
that
segment, the
I recommend
coach's
this
corner.
to Coach's Corner. So we go from playing the game to coaching the game because not only do we play the game, we also like as we get older, we gotta like what we know because we touch soccer IQ. We gotta share that to the young, to the youth that is coming up. And you coach, I coach. I started doing it about for 3-4 years now. How long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching it's probably since 2016, I would say.
Okay.
So this is probably my seventh year.
I started coaching like little kids from like is soccer shots program.
Oh yeah.
It's fun, man, because they you gotta like play games and they tell you like bring energy and then all the enthusiasm. Because if you don't do that, the kids just like wander off,
Oh yeah.
So
Short attention spans. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
so
you're
it's
like
it's a
keeping it
cool
very
it's a
active the
good
whole
place to
time.
start with because you kind of like realize how much it takes to like keep their attention. You gotta like bring all the fun and energy, and then I guess like
How long are those practices?
they're 30 minutes or
Okay.
50 minutes actually. Well, I was with another program called Little Kickers. Shout out to Little Kickers. This
Holla.
was in Indianapolis. Yeah, it was the competition of soccer shots.
Okay,
And
okay.
but yeah, we play like 5-10 minute games, like sharks and minnows, like
Would you have like 5-on-5 type thing?
no, it was like it's basically we use like games like we set up like or like Hungry Hippos type of games where like they're playing a game but they're actually moving the soccer ball, developing their skills, like,
Oh,
while they're having fun. Like, oh, like the goal is a hippo's mouth and we gotta feed him,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
I
they
love
gotta
that.
like, come on, let's see who can feed the hippo, and they're like, oh, I'm feeding the hippo.
I
There's
love
one that I think is called it was about a mouse. Like they gotta find a mouse, and the mouse was behind the wall, so they gotta like kick the ball, like wake up they gotta wake up Fred. I think it was, and they gotta like kick the ball at the wall, like wake up Fred. And they're like they're actually looking for the mouse.
that.
They're like, where's the mouse? And then some of the moms are like, they're actually wondering if they're gonna see Fred today. Like
Oh my god.
yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my god, that's funny. You're like,
But
no,
now
Fred.
I'm coaching older kids now. This last season, I'm still coaching, but I'm an assistant coach. It's like 11-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls, and it's a little different. This last season was my first time like managing my own team, and oh my god, I learned how much it takes. It can be a challenge for
What
sure.
what was your biggest what was your biggest lesson? What was what was all right, actually better question I'd rather ask. What would you the biggest advice you wanted to give to your players, you wish your players would understand?
My biggest advice to players or to coaches.
That you wish they would at the level they're at, the age they're at, the thing that you want them to understand the most. The thing you wish they would.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing is since I was coaching girls, they tend to get very sad and upset after a loss.
Okay.
So I would like try to get in into them, like make them understand that it's not. This is only one game. That don't worry, like you're gonna have a lot of games through your life. Like we're here. Don't worry. Like if you're going to play, even if you keep playing through high school, even college, even professional, like it's only one game. Don't worry about the score. If you lose, we're trying to get better. So like this last Saturday, this past Saturday, as an assistant coach, I went to this game. The goalie, like she was like came in the second half, this girl, and she let in a few goals. She was at the end of the game. She was crying
She was
because
just crushed.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess like they need to. They don't really see the long term view. So
Yeah, and you want to tell them, it's okay to lose or it's okay to tie or have
well,
make
I
a
guess if
mistake
you
just
tell her
because.
one time, if you tell him like make him understand that. Oh, you mean I can be a professional? You think you mean I can make I can go to college and keep playing it? Like make him realize that like this is not like there's a bigger focus. Like they can I guess they can start at that age they can start thinking of like, oh, I can make a living playing, or I can you know have a become a professional soccer player, so I guess if they see that, they can start thinking differently and not crying if they lose. But um
Yeah, no, you should be it's okay to feel sad when you lose, but you should
yeah,
but that game was still there there still should be some things you can learn from that game
I
and that you
mean,
can
but
grow from
honestly,
instead of just feeling bad
even
about it.
when we play, we get upset too, like when we lose. Like
Yeah,
I know a lot of players that take a loss or losing very bad and they want to fight or something. They don't cry, but they want to fight or
sure.
talk shit to their own players. You
Yeah.
gotta be able to take a loss.
Yeah, well, you take the loss and you say, what, what did we do wrong, or and how can we do better in that situation next time? Like
Mhm.
what did I do personally? You're like, what could I have done better? Like,
Yeah, but I
when I
mean,
when I when then somebody beat me and they faked the shot and I dove in and they beat me and then they took the shot and they scored the winning goal. Like, what can I do different next time? Like,
oh
don't
yeah,
dive or think about it like that. But those are all it's still a positive in that way that it's like showing you a way to maybe do better the next time. I don't know.
yeah. What's
What
your
did-
biggest challenge, like when you coach, or like that you have to deal with?
Uh, I guess the maybe not so much the biggest challenge, but what I kind of a challenge is teaching players to um, embrace the idea of being able to adapt or change the way they play
Yeah.
depending on what the game needs. Like
Mm.
depending on if we're ahead and the game's almost finished, like, okay, how do I change the way I play? How do I change from like always trying to beat somebody when I have the ball to like playing very like possession oriented with the ball? I just want our
Mhm.
team to hold on to the ball
Yeah.
and be able to like switch your mindset to be like, oh, let's try to get down the field and score to, okay, let's just try to play keep away from the other team so that as long as
Hmm.
they don't get the ball and time keeps going on, we win the game 1-0. And it's
Um,
teaching players how to play that other way. Okay, this is the way you primarily play. This is how you're good. Can you
yeah.
also can you turn backwards and play a pass behind you?
Oh yeah.
Some players they just like never, how it is. They
Hmm.
can never play backwards. Or there's some players that they always play backwards. They can't play forward.
True.
Either
Yeah.
way, you're
It's definitely a
it
balance.
becomes predictable and then you don't want that.
But is that from like them, like from being up like 3-0, 4-0, or like uh are you like, because when you gotta teach them to be more aggressive when they're losing too, right? Or like turn the
Sure.
momentum up.
Yeah. If they're losing, they need to know how to press harder and higher up the field and how to That's another thing. Maybe they're used to not really having to work too hard as forwards, and then when they're losing, they're like, "Wait, we never are losing. I don't know what to do here." And you're
Yeah.
like, "Okay, what you need to do is that goalie right there when they pass it back to the goalie, run at the goalie like a maniac and put a like, and then the other forwards, you guys cover these other people. Like we all need to press them in the like."
Yeah, I
Anyway,
mean that's a lot to teach. Like that's got to be in practice, right? I mean, it's
yeah,
that's a challenge. Like having covering everything in practice. Like if you maybe have like one two practices a week. I mean,
for sure.
that was my challenge. Like so, I try to cover us, and you don't know what you're gonna cover or what you need to cover. You gotta first like have a game and see how they do, and then be like take notes from that. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta teach them how to like do throw-ins because
Right,
they don't
right,
know how to
right.
do throw-ins, or
Yep,
like how to defend a corner, you know. And then like, oh, like I gotta teach them how to like actually like this is 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, like how to like not be scared of the ball coming down, like actually like try to like stop it with your foot instead of just looking at it bounce over you. You know, all these things are like,
oh,
okay,
man,
this
that must have
is
been
coming
so
on the next
annoying to watch
practice.
that, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I
But it's
mean, one
like to
thing,
watch the ball bounce and then it goes up, and they just keep watching. I'm like, why are you not touching the ball like with your head, with your foot? Like, God. So
yeah, no, no. I had to cover all that like on the last season because we started it was a losing every game by like 6-0, 7-0. The parents were upset. They were like, "What? Why? These kids don't even know what they're doing in there. What are you teaching them, coach?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I need to definitely step my game up." But so it was. I realized that there's more to it than just showing up and let's have fun, guys. You know,
right.
like you actually have to give them instructions, like and give them
Yeah.
like some direction for each player. Like you're gonna play here,
Yeah.
know your role here. Like you can't put them all over the place and expect them to remember everything for each role.
Yeah. You just have to try to focus them on one role,
One or two, you know, yeah.
and yeah, the better players you can move them around to different places a little more,
Hmm.
but like
Yeah,
the
yeah, man.
learners, you're like, okay, we're gonna stick to this role. This is what you need to be doing here. But you're right, taking the time to talk to all the kids about the individual things they should be doing, and you have to
Yeah.
like,
After doing that in like this past season, we started like yeah, we were losing, but we were losing by 1-0 2-1, like but
you
not by
started
a
playing a
lot.
lot better.
The last game we won,
Nice.
which
You
they're
went out with a
celebrating.
bang.
So if I would have started the season the way I made the adjustments in the middle, you know, it would have been a different story. So it was like a learning experience, you know. So
Are you going to be with them next season?
yeah, yeah. So once the spring season comes along, I'll probably coach them again. We'll
Cool.
see. It might be different players. Like if they like, it depends on. So I for the club I coach for is my neighborhood Roxborough. Shout out to Roxborough.
Hello,
In Philadelphia. You know, it's one of the it's a pretty cool neighborhood.
Rockstown.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, um, but yeah, it's coaching is can be fun, challenging, but very rewarding. You know, that's what I enjoy about it. Like it's, I feel like coaching and teaching is, and you know, being an educator, you know, it's things that you're giving back, and you it's fulfilling to give back. You know, because it's you know it's what we're looking for, like ways to feel like we're contributing to society, and I feel
For
that
sure.
the what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean coaching is one of them, man.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
there's I think a need for those positions. Like there's
and
not as
you learn so much through sports, teamwork, you know, leadership, communication. You know, so it's you know you make friends, so it's so many I get what do you call it, like benefits that come along with it. with
Yeah,
just playing the sport.
yeah, a lot of fringe benefits.
Yeah, man. So
So you're recommending coaching to other people. After you play, my friends, pass on your coaching knowledge to the next generation. Pass on
yeah,
your passion for the sport and your love and understanding for
that's
soccer. And
that's what I learned from Freddie Roach. You know Freddie Roach,
no.
the Manny Pacquiao's boxing trainer.
Oh, okay.
He actually shifted into training. I learned this from a book I was reading, Mastery, which is a book about becoming a master in your craft. Which, according to the book, it takes 20,000 hours. Like,
Whoa.
yeah, so you gotta do something for 20,000 hours accumulated for you to become a master at it. And some shortcuts is to find mentors.
Okay.
It's a good book. It's one of
Thanks. I feel like I've heard of that book. It sounds good.
I got it right here actually.
Mastery. Okay, yeah. I think my friend Mike Logan might have read that book.
Mastery by Robert Greene. It's a really good book. I got all his books. He got 48 Laws of Power.
What is
You ever heard
the
of that?
40 Laws of Power?
48 Laws of Power.
Oh,
It's
sounds intriguing.
it is intriguing. It's about, yeah, like he came up with 48 laws that, because he says, like, even if you're not trying to be like gain power, or like your main thing is not power, you can't opt out of it. Like, it's just the nature of like society, like
Oh.
just like a power dynamics at all times. So there's like these laws that you have to be familiar with. Like, the first one is, it's not even soccer, but we're getting like off subject. But yeah, the first one is
Get
like,
philosophical. Uh-oh, here we go.
uh never outshine your master. And it's a whole chapter about like never outshine your master, because they become, insecure, and then they're in a position where they can fire you. So like,
Oh.
always make your master, like, you're not master as in like the person that's either your boss or your teacher. Yeah,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
master, like your kung fu master. And then like you when you're like getting to that level, moving up, he's gonna like feel a little insecure, and like a little, like, oh, they're coming for me.
Yeah.
So don't be too, flashy when it comes to that. Make keep the spotlight on him until you pass him. Yeah. But
Oh.
anyway, mastery. Yeah, like they talk. He's a Freddie Roach. So I think he was a boxer. He started as a boxer. So, and he loved the sport, but the thing is, he wasn't good at it. So he had to stop, boxing, because he was just losing all the time. And so he didn't know what to do after that. And then like one day he just decided like to go to one of his old trainers gym, to see what's up. And I guess he saw some of the like he some of the boxers there were getting some attention, so he started helping them. And then how he got into like boxing, training little by little. And then he started like having his own people that he was training. And eventually he became one of the best boxing trainers. He found Manny Pacquiao. He
Oh
basically made
wow.
Manny Pacquiao one of the best boxers in the game.
Oh yeah.
So he sh- he shifted from, like, he knew he couldn't box forever, so he's like, he got into coaching, to training. It's like a shift that you gotta do eventually.
Yep.
Whatever, like,
You're
if you
you're gonna
feel
see
that,
you're gonna see Ronaldo and Messi coaching in like 20 years, or even in 10 years, probably in the next 10
I mean,
years.
some players say they don't want to coach, but yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I
look,
don't
you
know.
got Patrick Vieira's coaching. He was
Yeah.
a
I
superstar in
just saw
the
that Kaká got his coaching license.
what?
Yeah, he's gonna be coaching soon.
Kaka's coming out. Okay. I mean, look, you got
Kaká.
Xavi, you got freaking Wayne Rooney trying to coach a little bit with Derby.
Yeah, man.
You got so look out, look out. Yeah, you got it though. You got to pass the torch. So it's
Exactly.
the circle of life, my friend.
Hmm.
Um,
And then,
well, thank you for your time, my friend
yeah,
Octavio,
man.
and
Thank you for
hey, Philly Casemiro.
second episode of Kicking Balls. We definitely kicked some balls today. You know,
Absolutely.
so yeah, this is what it's gonna be about. We're gonna go. We're gonna stay on top of what's going on out there, the leagues, and then we're gonna definitely cover like the soccer, the playing aspect, and the coaching aspect. So
That's
next,
right.
stay tuned for the next one.
This is Kicking Balls. And also, I want to encourage anybody who is listening or has any questions about soccer. I think we should encourage people to write in some questions that we can
Okay,
address.
yeah,
They have
definitely, because you gotta
questions
find
about
this.
games, leagues, and or situations and games that they have, situations that they have in coaching.
Any questions that you have on, like maybe you have some challenges when you're a coach yourself, and you may have some questions about like that you run into, some challenges that you run into that maybe we can help. We can cover.
For sure. And if
Yeah.
you're or maybe you're just looking for some Premier League predictions, and you need me, Mr. John Norris, aka Nostradamus, to give you the prediction for that player in the next season, uh, just like I did for old Weghorst over there with Man United.
Or if you got any hot takes too, welcome
Hot
any
take,
hot takes.
yeah, would love to hear a hot take. Actually, that'd be fun to. We'd love to share your hot take on here. So give us a hot take as well.
Yeah. So
All right.
this you gotta find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'll put it everywhere. YouTube, so you can leave a comment or like just in Spotify you can like leave your review or any questions that you have. So I think Apple Podcasts would be the same. So yeah, is whatever platform you listen to this, just just leave us a
Holler.
comment.
Holler.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you for this episode. Till next one.
Absolutely. This has been Kicking Balls, episode 2, with
Kicking
Zlatan
ball.
and Casemiro.
All right. Hasta la vista.
All right. See you later, my friend.
See you later.